Hey guys, what's up? So today we are going to solve a very simple and interesting problem. So the problem statement is, given a Fahrenheit value, we have to convert it into its corresponding Celsius value. Okay, so the formula is Celsius equals 5/9 Fahrenheit minus 32. So this is the formula for converting a given Fahrenheit value to its Celsius value. Okay, so user will give us the value of Fahrenheit and I will print its corresponding Celsius value. Okay, so let's write code for it. So let's name this file as Fahrenheit to Celsius .cpp. Hash include IOStream using namespace std int main return 0. Okay, so what I have to do? First of all, let's create a variable int Fahrenheit and let us take the value of Fahrenheit input from the user. Now we will calculate Celsius, which is equals to 5/9 into Fahrenheit minus 32, and after calculating Celsius value we just have to print it out. Okay, so this is all that we have to do. We are taking input and then we are calculating the Celsius value with the help of this formula, and then we are printing the Celsius value. So let's build and run. So I think for Fahrenheit equals 100, my output is 37. Oh, it's coming out to be 0. So let's see why it is coming out to be 0. Okay, so I give 100 as input. So 100 minus 32 is 68. And 5/9 into 68 is not equals to 0. Then why it is coming out to be 0? So in the last class I told you that integer upon integer is an integer. Why is it so? Because this division operator is an inbuilt function. It is inbuilt. Okay, so it is defined in such a way that if you divide integer by another integer, the output will always be an integer. Okay, so it is defined in such a manner. And here, focus on this part. So 5/9 is actually 0.55555, but I told you that it will give me integer, so my output will be 0. Okay, so 5/9 is equals to 0, and 0 multiplied by anything is equals to 0. Okay, so I hope you understood the problem. Now how we can resolve it? So first of all, this is wrong. Let's comment it out. So there are many ways to correct this problem. So the first way is int Celsius equals, first what we will do, we will multiply and then we will divide. Okay, so first multiply then divide. So 5 into Fahrenheit minus 32, and now we will divide. Divide by 9. Okay, so let's build and run. So let's give 100 as input and 37 is my answer, correct answer. Okay, so there is one more way with the help of which we can solve this problem. So what we will do, in the last class I also told you that float divided by integer is an float, and similarly integer divided by float is also float. So this division operator is defined in such a manner. So we can use it how? What we will do, we will write 5.0 divided by 9 and then we will multiply it with Fahrenheit minus 32. Okay, so what will happen? This part, which is float upon integer, will give me a floating value, and float into integer will be float. Okay, so my output will not be 0 and the output will be correct. Okay, so we just have to do minor changes. We will simply write int Celcius equals 5.0 divided by 9 into Fahrenheit minus 32. What you can also do is, instead of writing this, you can also write 5 divided by 9.0, or you can also write 5.0 divided by 9.0. So these three are same. You can write any of them. Okay, so but we have to do one more thing. So when I am writing int Celcius equals 5.0 divided by 9 into Fahrenheit minus 32, so this value is a floating value, and float into integer will be a floating value. So the right hand side is a floating value and left hand side is an integer value. Isn't it strange? So what we have to do, we have to typecast it. So for typecasting, we have to do explicit typecasting. So we'll just write int before this expression. Okay, so why there is a need of typecasting here? Because the right hand side is a floating value and the left hand side is an integer, so we have to typecast float data type into integer data type. Okay, so let's make some changes. So I have commented this part because this is correct. Let's see one more. So int Celcius, so we have to typecast. And why we need to typecast? Because right hand side is floating value and left hand side is a integer value. So 5.0 divided by 9, and then we will multiply it with Fahrenheit minus 32. Okay, so for typecasting we have to add brackets. Now this is correct, so let's build and run. So for 100 my output will be 37, which is 100% correct. Okay, so what will happen if I try and print Cout 5 by 9? What will print? What will be my output? So it is actually 0.5, but I told you integer upon integer will give me integer, so output will be 0. Now tell me what will be my output if I do Cout 9 by 5. So it is 1.8, but my output will be integer part. It is not getting round off. Output will not be 2. Round off is not there. The division operator will just give me the integer part. So that's why 1 is my output. Similarly, if I write Cout 4 by 3, so it is 1.333. So my output will be 1. Okay, so division operator is a little bit interesting. So just focus, so just try to concentrate and just remember few rules, that integer upon integer will be integer, float upon integer will be float, and integer upon float will be float, and so on. Okay. Now what will happen if I try and print cout 9.0 by 5? So in this case my output will be 1.8. Okay, because float upon integer is a floating value. So let's try and print this and this. So let's comment it out. Cout 9 by 5. Okay, so first of all I have to give Fahrenheit value. So my output is 1. Okay, so 9 by 5 is coming out to be 1. So let's comment it also. Let's comment it out also. And now let's print cout 9.0 by 5. Now in this case my output will be 1.8. Okay, so 1.8 because float upon integer is a floating value. Now let's print one more thing, cout 4 by 3 and cout 5 by 9. So you can see here 9 by 5 is 1, 9.0 by 5 is 1.8, 4 by 3 is actually 1.333, but integer upon integer is an integer, so 1 is getting printed, and my last one is 0. Okay. Okay guys, so this is it for this video. Thanks for watching.